Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos. So, big breaking news now is coming out of the media in regards to Ajax's Mattis de Ligt. So it does basically say now reportedly that talks between Mattis de Ligt and Barcelona have reportedly come to a conclusion because they have struggled to come to an agreement on the terms. And potentially we do know that Mattis de Ligt has been widely spoken about throughout the course of this transfer window, because it is looking very imminent that he's going to be leaving Ajax this summer, and of course he has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation as Mattis de Ligt. But obviously now his talks have ended with Barcelona. Is this a sign that he could be on his way to Old Trafford? And obviously we do know that Manchester United have been heavily linked to him, but a lot of teams have inquired about his services, as you all know. But we do know at least in the last couple of months that Barcelona have obviously been in the ascendancy to get the player's signature. But potentially only reported out from Sky Sports, was it last week, saying that he was set to join Barcelona, of course, and that was obviously Mattis de Ligt's preferred destination. And I think the main reason why he did want to join Barcelona, because obviously he wants to currently reunite with his teammate Frankie de Jong, does Mattis de Ligt. But potentially I'm still very sceptical about this, as you all know, but I do believe there's a lot of credibility in these stories about Mattis de Ligt. As we all do currently know, a couple of days ago, it did basically say, according to Sky Sports, that Manchester United had ruled out the move for Mattis de Ligt, and did say we'd withdrawn our interest in Mattis de Ligt. But basically, at least it has been reporting, at least in the last 4 or 5 days, that we have improved our contract offer for Mattis de Ligt, and it did reportedly say that Manchester United are willing to offer him a contract up to around £350,000 a week. So I do believe this equates to around almost £17 million a year. So obviously, if this was to currently go through, this would make Mattis de Ligt the highest paid teenager in world football, and obviously making one of the highest paid players at Manchester United, of course. And obviously this is a figure that Barcelona are not willing to currently meet. So basically Barcelona are not willing to increase their offer for him. We do know that Barcelona have been in talks with de Ligt and his agent Raiola, but I think the news came out, was it about 11:30, saying that talks between Barcelona and Mattis de Ligt have currently come to an end, because of obviously the struggle to come to the agreement on the terms and all that. But some media outlets we're still speculating, saying that Mattis de Ligt's transfer to Barcelona is a done deal, saying that fee and that had been agreed, but obviously they hadn't come to an agreement on the terms, because obviously de Ligt was demanding more money. Obviously his agent Raiola was demanding more money. But we do know it came out, was it a couple of days ago as well, it came out from a very reliable Spanish journalist, and he's called obviously Gerard Romero, and he did basically indicate out that Manchester United are very close to signing Mattis de Ligt. It also said that Manchester United put a bid in for him of around £70 million, because in terms of transfer fees, he's going to cost you around £65 or £70 million anyway, because that's what initially Mattis de Ligt is rated at. But as I said, a lot of teams have been interested. City have inquired about his services. Obviously, City are looking for a replacement for Vincent Kompany. Obviously, it came out about, was it a week or so ago, saying that Liverpool of course have inquired about Mattis de Ligt's services. So now Manchester United could be the favourites to get a deal over the line for the player. But Mattis de Ligt actually told his agent Raiola that he's willing to accept Manchester United's contract offer, because he maybe from his own perspective de Ligt thinks it's a contract that's too good to basically turn down. So he could well be on his way to Manchester United, could Mattis de Ligt. I think it did come out, was it a fortnight ago as well, saying that Manchester United offered him a contract worth up to around £12 million a year, but reportedly Mattis de Ligt had currently turned this down. But I think suggestions did get stirred up as well, and it did say a lot of Manchester United fans were convinced that he did want to make the move to Manchester United. When Rio Ferdinand put that post on Instagram, Manchester United's Champions League success back in 2008, and it did basically say that Mattis de Ligt had currently liked that post. So that when that got reported out, that did stir quite a few suggestions up. But I do believe that Mattis de Ligt would be the right solution for Manchester United. Obviously, you can see the deficiencies in Manchester United's squad, and there's a lot of areas where Manchester United are lacking. But obviously, one of the priority areas where we are lacking is that central defensive area, and I do believe we need 2 central defenders. But I do believe that Mattis de Ligt would be the right solution for Manchester United. Obviously, he's going to fit in Ole Gunnar Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy as well, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's blatantly made it clear he wants to sign a number of young players this summer. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not intending on bringing any short-term players to the club. But Mattis Ligt, I think some reports have said as well that Mattis Ligt is determined to join Manchester United, and he prefers to move to Manchester United over Barcelona. Despite, even though we're not in Champions League football for next season, I think he's still keen on making the move, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still believes we can attract players to the highest level, even though we're not in Champions League football for next season. But Mattis Ligt, as you all know, is only 19 years of age, so he's got a hell of a lot of years ahead of him, got a hell of a lot of development in him as well. And I do believe if he came to the Premier League, it would definitely, take his career to the next level. It's still not, it's still uncertain at the moment where he will be playing his trade next season. But so far, Mattis Ligt has spent the entirety of his career with Ajax. I think, he's been playing with them since the age of 8, the age of 9-year-old, and he has progressed up the ranks fantastically well. As Mattis Ligt, made his senior debut at just the age of 16, and he has become an integral part of Ajax's squad, of course. And he can leave Ajax, with his head held up high, of course. Can Mattis Ligt? Obviously, Ajax, won the domestic double this season for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Of course, as well, winning the Eredivisie title, and also as well, progressing to the Champions League semi-final. So Ajax have had a really, really good season. I think Mattis Ligt as well is the only defender to win the Golden Boy award, and I think he actually became more of a first team starter in Ajax's squad, when Davinson Sanchez, of course, left back in 2017. But I do believe he'd be fantastic for Manchester United. He'd blend in very, very well alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line. So is his move now imminent to Manchester United now that his talks have ended with Barcelona? But yeah, he's been widely spoken about in his transfer window, but I do believe there's a lot of credibility in these stories, but I am still sceptical about it at the moment, of course. But I do believe later on today more things will update of what's going on with Mattis Ligt, and of course we'll all obviously keep you up to date with that. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, and as you all know, he wants to bring at least 5 new additions to the club. Obviously, we are expected to get rid of probably about 4 or 5 players this summer, so we do need a summer clear out, but we do need a massive overhaul this summer. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is getting a spending spree of £250 million. Obviously, £250 million, but it's obviously going to be a lot more than that if we can cash in for De Gea, if we can cash in for Pogba, if we can cash in for Lukaku. That's going. If we can cash in for them, it's going to be beneficial. It will help us with our rebuilding process, and of course, it will help us with our transition. But I do believe we've got to get the right players. I've got the ability to elevate Manchester United at least in the next 2 to 3 years, of course. But we could be way on the verge now of getting a deal over the line for Mattis Ligt, which is very, very good news. As I did currently say, Manchester United have been playing catch-up for the last 5 or 6 years. Obviously, we do know a lot of money has been invested into the club, and I think £700 million has been spent in total, something like that. Anyway, that's my estimated figure, but it is something like that. But like I said, we've had different managers with different philosophies, of course, but none this squad is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. But I do believe in the next couple of seasons, our aspirations is going to be fighting for that top 4. I do believe we're at least 3 or 4 years off, for mounting any kind of title challenge up at the moment. City are strides ahead of us. Liverpool, of course, are strides ahead of us. So we have got to get the right recruitment this summer. Maybe some people suggested out, we should be sensible with our recruitment this summer, because we do basically know that there's a lot of players on Manchester United's agenda that are available for a reasonable figure. But yeah, I definitely would love to get Mattis Ligt to Manchester United, but we do basically know as well, guys, we do also know that we are on the verge of getting Daniel James on the board as well. Obviously, it hasn't been, finalised fully as yet, but he's obviously going to be our first signing this summer, is Daniel James. So there could be actually our 2 first signings, Daniel James and Mattis Ligt for Ajax. I think the initial fee of Daniel James is around £15 million. Obviously, initial fee of Mattis Ligt is going to be around £65 or £70 million. So in total, that's about £80 or £85 million on 2 good players, of course. But with Daniel James, it did basically, the stories broke out about this earlier on in the month, saying that Manchester United, were close to agreeing around the £15 million deal for him, and that is a reasonable figure. He's £15 million. Obviously, Daniel James has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Obviously, Brighton, came in right at the final hurdle for Daniel James, but I think his preferred destination, of course, is Manchester United. Like I said, I think the move will be delayed for a short period of time, based on his father passing away. Obviously, this had to, make, Daniel James, withdraw from the Wales camp. But like I said, I have got some reservations about Daniel James, when it comes to to him tracking back. He's not good in the air. I've got reservations about him. In the air, I've got reservations about him. But in terms of attacking intent, he looks very, very good. He's very, very fast on the ball. He's good at cutting him from that flank. And I think he's supposed to be more effective from that left-hand side. You can put him on the right, but I think he's supposed to be more effective from that left-hand side. Is Daniel James. I think he's only got a year left on his deal with Swansea. But I think he's played about 30-odd games this season for Swansea. But I think Leeds have also inquired about his services. Leeds were on the brink of getting him back in January. Of course, Everton have also inquired about his services, but he's only 21 years of age. He is a Welsh international, but the question is, has Daniel James got the ability? Has he got the minerals, to make it to the highest level? Can he exceed expectation levels in the Premier League? Because obviously Daniel James has obviously not yet, played to the highest level, but it will be good for him, to experience the facilities at Manchester United. It would be great for him, to experience the Premier League. So hopefully he can deliver the goods to Manchester United. Can Daniel James? But his move to Manchester United now is very, very imminent, but he hasn't yet been finalised. So looking likely, our two first signings are going to be, Mattis to Ligt by the looks of things at the moment, and Daniel James. And of course, Daniel James will probably be the first one, and then Mattis to Ligt, of course, will be the second one. So that is definitely no good start to the summer transfer window. But like I said with Daniel James, he is a low expectation. He's a cheap acquisition. He is a very, very surprise solution. But we've obviously got to give him the opportunity, as you all know. So they're looking like they are going to be our two first signings now. So basically, you can say with the Mattis to Ligt now, story that now at Barcelona have opted out the race. Now that talks have ended, you can say talks have ended. You can say that Barcelona now have opted out the race for Mattis to Ligt. So potentially another problem with Manchester United, as you all know, we've let far too many players' contracts run down, as you all know. Obviously, with Juan Mata, obviously, he's coming to an end of his contract. His move looks imminent, away from Manchester United. So it looks like he's going to be going. Talking about Lukaku as well, looking like, he's going to be going, but he's still got 3 years left on his contract as Romelu Lukaku. Obviously, De Gea is in the final year of his deal. It's looking like, De Gea is going to be leaving. Rashford in the final year of his deal. I've been in talks of getting Marcus Rashford a new contract. But obviously, we have been in talks, but obviously, we haven't come to an agreement yet to get Marcus Rashford a new contract. Obviously, we've let Ander Herrera go on a free transfer, which I think was bad business for Manchester United. So we have let far too many players' contracts run down, and that's been another problem with Manchester United. And obviously, other targets that Manchester United have been interested in as well. And like I said, I think we need about 3 new additions in that midfield, of course, because obviously Paul Pogba's move away from Manchester United is looking very, very imminent, of course. I think he's going to end up, making the move to Real Madrid. So I do think, we need a replacement for Paul Pogba. We need a replacement for Ander Herrera. I do believe as well we need a centre defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious, because at the moment, McTominay is too inexperienced, even though in some of his games throughout the course of this season he has proven himself, but as I said, he's too inexperienced at the moment. Mattis is too inconsistent, plus he's aging up, and I have got strong reservations about Nemanja Mattis, and of course, Fellaini left back in January, and I think that centre defensive midfielder area is one of the priority areas, where Manchester United of course need to strengthen up. But there has been quite a bit fewer centre defensive midfielders on Manchester United's agenda. Obviously, in the last 5 or 6 days, there has been a lot of talks about Thomas Partey. There has been a lot of talks about Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid, and I think Manchester United and Arsenal have inquired about Thomas Partey's services. Now, Thomas Partey has spent the majority of his career with Atletico Madrid. He is 25 years of age, so he has still got a lot of development in him, but we do know that he is available for a reasonable figure, because I think his release clause is around £43 million in his contract with Atletico Madrid, so he's also been spoken about as well. So do you believe he'd be the right solution for Manchester United? We do also know as well that there has obviously, been talks about Declan Rice in the past, and I'm a big admirer of Declan Rice, and I like Declan Rice a lot, and I think he's a really, really good player. He's the upcoming future, is Declan Rice. He's only 20 years of age. I think he's exceeded expectation levels well with West Ham. He's done well throughout the course of this season under Manuel Pellegrini as Declan Rice. But like I said, only 20 years of age, got a hell of a lot of years ahead of him. Of course, he has been one of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's prime types, but like I said, Premier League proven, initially learned his trade in the Premier League, and he has been at West Ham a number of years now, and I think he's been in West Ham's senior squad a couple of years as Declan Rice, but he has become an integral part of West Ham's squad. As you all know, he's primarily a defensive midfielder, can play as a centre-back, but I think he's primarily a defensive midfielder. Reports came out a while back saying that he could be available for around £50 million, so that is a reasonable figure. Of course, also British, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has emphasised an interest in quite a few British players, so we do know that Declan Rice has been spoken about. Obviously, as well, we do know that there's Idrissa Gueye has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Now, he's been on Manchester United's agenda, for quite some time now, as Idrissa Gueye, and I do really like Idrissa Gueye. He's 29 years of age. He's aging up a bit now, is Idrissa Gueye. Obviously, he's got quite a lot of years of experience now under his belt in the Premier League, as Idrissa Gueye. He has done really well for Everton. I think the quoted fee is around £35 million, and this is what, obviously, what that Everton would want, of course, if they're willing to sell him. Initially, looking at it, ultimately, Everton don't want to sell him, but I think Everton have come to accept the fact that, Idrissa Gueye wants to leave Everton, of course. But we do know back in January that PSG inquired about his services. I think PSG, had a couple of bids turned down for Idrissa Gueye. But, you can't argue with Idrissa Gueye's stats, He's one of the most successful tacklers in the Premier League, as you all know. One of the most successful tacklers in the Premier League. Obviously, as well, I think he's completed the most tackles, of course, across Europe, as Idrissa Gueye. So you can't, potentially, argue with his stats. But like I said, 29 years of age. Everton want around £35 million. So initially, they're demanding just over 5 times more than what they initially paid for him from Aston Villa, because they paid just over £7 million for him from Aston Villa, back in 2016. He has got 3 years left on his contract with Everton. Like I said, he's a holding midfielder, and also Manchester United have inquired about his services, so he's also being spoken about. Obviously, we do know, Youri Tielemans has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. I think Youri Tielemans is actually, primarily a central midfielder, but Manchester United have inquired about, Youri Tielemans' services. Obviously, a number of other clubs have been interested in him. It did say Manchester United have been in negotiations with Youri Tielemans' agent over the summer transfer. It's also said recently that Manchester City have inquired about his services. They've been in negotiations with his representatives. Also, it did say that Arsenal have been linked with him. Also, Tottenham have been in negotiations with his agent, because Youri Tielemans has had about 5 or 6 months of experience now in the Premier League, under his belt. He's been fantastic, since he's gone on loan with Leicester. But I think Leicester are keen on getting, Youri Tielemans on a permanent basis, because I think Leicester have been in talks with Monaco about this. I think Monaco do rate Youri Tielemans at around £40 million. I think he has got a contract with Monaco until 2022. I think it did initially say that he is expected to return to Monaco at the end of his loan spell with Leicester. So there has been a lot of talks about him, going on. He's only had 22 years of age, Youri Tielemans, so he has got a lot of years ahead of him. But I do believe, he would be the right solution for Manchester United, and I think he'd do very well in our midfield. He'd have depth in that midfield. He'd have creativeness in that midfield. So I do believe that Youri Tielemans, would be absolutely fantastic indeed. I do believe that, Youri Tielemans, would be fantastic indeed. So, as I updated you on my video, I did yesterday evening, was it? Yes, it was yesterday evening, and of course I was in my garden, and I give you my update of what was going on in regards to Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon. Now, he did basically say, he has suggested out that he could leave Sporting Lisbon this summer, could Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has actually, denied, making, having any negotiations with Manchester United, over the potential move to Old Trafford. So, potentially, he has suggested out that, that he could leave Sporting Lisbon. I think his future is up in the air at the moment. He did basically say he doesn't know, where, he doesn't know if he's going to be leaving, Sporting Lisbon or out, but he has refused to rule out and move to the Premier League as Bruno Fernandes. So basically he did say he's had a good couple of years, with Bruno Fernandes. He said he doesn't know if he's going to be, with Sporting Lisbon, for the 3rd year. This is what, he basically said, but he just basically said he doesn't know if he's going to be leaving him, of course. I do believe it is Manchester City that are emerged as the front runners, of course, to get a deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes. I think City are hopeful of getting him in a deal worth around 40 odd million pounds, but City have emerged as the front runners at the moment. But we do know he's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. We do know Manchester United, of course, have been heavily linked to him for a long time, of course, because Bruno Fernandes is a really, really good player, 24 years of age, has still got a lot of years ahead of him. He's done really, really well in his couple of seasons with Sporting Lisbon, and I do believe if he came to the Premier League, he'd succeed in the Premier League, he'd exceed expectation levels in the Premier League, and I'd love him to come to Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes, and obviously a player of Bruno Fernandes' calibre, obviously the more attractive option for Bruno Fernandes, would be Manchester City, of course, because obviously City are much better than Manchester United at the moment. City can offer him a Champions League football, of course. But yeah, City are emerged as the front runners. But it came out a couple of weeks ago. The quoted fee was around £60 million that Sporting Lisbon, wanted for Bruno Fernandes. And his initial release clause is around, 85 or £86 million in his contract with Sporting Lisbon. He is under contract with them, I think, until 2023. But obviously he had a lot of experience of playing in Italy, when he was younger, with the likes of San Pandora and underneath. So he could well be, be leaving Sporting Lisbon this summer. He may want to seek a new challenge, but he has said he doesn't know if he's going to be leaving, but he hasn't ruled out a move to the Premier League, which is very, very good news. But Bruno Fernandes is primarily an attacking midfielder, so basically Manchester United would see him as a replacement for Paul Pogba, but he can score goals, he can provide, and he has proven this throughout the course of this season with Sporting Lisbon. So I would love him to come to Manchester United, as you all know. So I updated you about that yesterday evening, of course. Obviously, as I've been giving you an update as well about Benfica's Joe Felix, I think Benfica have blatantly, made it clear they are willing to only sell Joe Felix if his current buyout clause is triggered. And I think it did initially say that Manchester United have expressed our interest in the player. Obviously now we've stepped our interest up in the player because he has been on Manchester United's agenda now for quite a long time. I think the rumours have continued to persist since January, of course, and obviously the rumours have persisted since then. But initially his buyout clause is around 100 or is it 105 million pounds, and it did say Manchester United are willing to trigger his buyout clause, of course, so he's going to cost you over 100 million pounds. But like I said, I'd like us to get Joe Felix in. I do believe that Joe Felix, can, emulate into one of the best players in the world. Of course, I don't think he'll emulate into Ronaldo or Messi, or Neymar, but I do believe he can become one of the best in the world, and I do believe he's got all the attributes, to succeed in the Premier League, and he'd definitely exceed expectation levels in the Premier League, with Joe Felix. Only 19 years of age, got a hell of a lot of years ahead of him. Of course, this has only been his first season in the senior squad with Benfica. I don't even think he's yet made his senior debut for Portugal, but he has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. He's been widely spoken about as well, since January as Joe Felix. Man United have been scouting him for a very, very long time. I think he's primarily an attacking midfielder, can play as a winner, can play as a striker, so he is, very, very versatile as Joe Felix. But I think also Man City have inquired about his services, Real Madrid have also, inquired about his services, but I would, love Joe Felix at Manchester United, of course. So obviously, he's been on Manchester United's agenda. I like Bruno Fernandes and Joe Felix, so they've both done really, really well in Portugal, and I'd like both of them, but I don't see Manchester United getting both of them. We may get one of them, but I don't see us, getting both of them, of course. But ultimately, looking at it, if you are going to get both of them, they'd probably cost you in the region of around 160 or 170 million pounds, well, or something like that for both players, of course. But like I said, there's a lot of players on Manchester United's agenda. And going back to what I said earlier on about Koulibaly, as you all know, from Napoli. Now, obviously, as there was positive stories coming out about Koulibaly the other week, saying obviously Manchester United, we identified him as our number one target. Well, obviously, initially Jadon Sancho was our number one target, but obviously now it's obviously looking very, very unlikely that we're going to get Jadon Sancho this summer, because obviously Jadon Sancho, Borussia Dortmund's CEO has confirmed that Jadon Sancho will be staying at Borussia Dortmund next season. We don't know about Jadon Sancho's long-term future, but we do know he will be at Borussia Dortmund next season. I think Jadon Sancho's intending on spending at least another season there with Borussia Dortmund. So then positive stories came out, about, Koulibaly, Man United, we've identified him as our number one target. Obviously it was blatantly made clear that we had to break the world transfer record to get him a deal over the line for him. But now there's Napoli now are demanding Napoli now are demanding an extortionate price for Koulibaly. So reportedly now Napoli are demanding in the region of around £150 million for Koulibaly. So basically now he has been priced out of the market. But we do know the rumours have continued to position or linking Koulibaly with a move to Manchester United, since last summer. Because obviously, he was linked with Manchester United last summer under Jose Mourinho. Obviously, that's when the process started about Koulibaly. And obviously, we didn't get his number one targets last summer because obviously, the board weren't backing, the signings that Jose Mourinho wanted to recommend to come in, of course. And obviously, last year, I think Manchester United had 3 bids turned down for Koulibaly. I think a £95 million bid was also turned down for him last year. Reports came out from Italy, last week saying that Man United had around a 90 or was it a £95 million bid turned down for him. Also, Real Madrid have inquired about his services. He did say that Real Madrid had a £90 million bid turned down for Koulibaly. But potentially, yes, I think he's probably set to stay at Napoli, if I'm going to be quite honest with him. Recently, Carlo Ancelotti regarded him as one of the best centre-backs in the world. And I do believe he's one of the best in the world, is Koulibaly. Koulibaly's got 4 years left on his contract, I think, because he recently signed a new deal until 2023, I think, did Koulibaly. And he's really, really good, He's Koulibaly. He's 27, nearly 28 years of age. But I think he did blatantly say that Manchester United are set to miss out on him because, obviously, Napoli are demanding an extortionate amount for the player. So, obviously, Manchester United are set to miss out on him. Now, it's basically saying that Manchester United, we have turned our intentions now on Benfica's Ruben Diaz. But looking at it from a financial point of view, he's a much cheaper alternative than Koulibaly. Is Ruben Diaz. He's obviously not going to substantially cost us lesser than Koulibaly. I think Benfica, if they're willing to do any business with a player, I think they'd let him go for around £60 million. I think Ruben Diaz has been on Manchester United's agenda in the past, but obviously I think he's about 5 or 6 years younger than Koulibaly as well as Ruben Diaz. Obviously he has spent the entirety of his career with Benfica, progressing up their youth ranks, and he has become an integral part of Benfica's squad. But only 22 years of age, of course. I think he's got a contract with Benfica until 2023, so he's basically being spoken about now. So we have prioritised now Ruben Diaz over Koulibaly, of course, because obviously now we're set to miss out on Koulibaly. So yeah, but looking at it from a financial point of view, Ruben Diaz is gonna be a lot cheaper than Koulibaly. So now we're inquired about Ruben Diaz. But that's mainly, everything to update you on. As we all do know that Darmian and, Rojo, they're set to move away from Old Trafford this summer. And like I said, we can get around £30 million, for Darmian and Marcus Rojo. Obviously, Eric Bailly as well. I think he's set to leave Manchester United, especially if a new centre-back is to come in. Because obviously, I think he burst into the scenes very, very well when he came to the Premier League. But I think, based with his fallout with managers, with his injuries he has sustained, he's really had a bad effect on his Manchester United career. So like I said, I think we need to get rid of him. He's injury prone now, and I think obviously we can cash in for Eric Bailly. We'll be looking to recoup the initial £30 million, that we did pay for him from Villarreal, back in 2016. Obviously with Sanchez, we do know it's looking likely he's going to be leaving. Obviously we know that Manchester United are going to be loaning Alexis Sanchez out for, we'll loan him out for a long season loan, of course. Obviously we can't get rid of him permanently, based on his substantial wages, of course. So yeah, it's looking likely he's going to be going. But the main part of this video, was to give you an update on what's going on in regards to the Ligt. So it's looking like now our first 2 signings are going to be Daniel James from Swansea and Mattis to the Ligt. Don't get me wrong, I'm still sceptical about Mattis to the Ligt. It's obviously not certain he's going to make the move to Manchester United, but there is signs now that he could be on his way to Old Trafford with his talks with Barcelona currently coming to an end, because obviously they failed to come to an agreement on the terms, of course. So this is very, very good news, for me as a Manchester United fan, and a vast majority of Manchester United fans, will be very, very happy about this. So anyway guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching guys.